2023 was the first full year of a weekly segment I produce, write, edit, and most times shoot myself for Newswatch 16's 7 p.m. newscast. Check It Out with Chelsea aims to give our viewers a closer look at things happening in Northeastern and Central Pennsylvania. Time and time again, we hear from dance clubs, local businesses, and even people like flight instructors or the American Red Cross and our viewers that this closer look inspires many to explore these opportunities they didn't even know were in their own backyard. Here are a few examples of the weekly segment.
Finally at 7, with spring's arrival comes a thing we see every year, birds migrating north for the warmer months. But how do we know where they come from and where they're going? That's what we're checking out tonight with Chelsea.
Just before the sun comes up, researchers and students from higher education institutions throughout Lackawanna County gather in this part of Lackawanna State Park to prepare to conduct some research on migrating songbirds.
The purpose of this is to basically keep like an inventory of all the birds that we do.
The first step is to set up mist nets that birds will gently get caught in. While we wait for some birds to find the nets, the research collection station is set up. Dr. Robert Smith from the University of Scranton has federal, state, and park permits to perform this kind of research. Then, every half hour, where are we going?
We're doing a net check to see if we captured any birds.
When one is caught, Dr. Smith removes it,
It's an American red star.
places it in a bag, labels it, and we continue to check a dozen other mist nets set up in the vicinity.
This looks like a sparrow.
You're right.
After one check, we bring all those birds back to band them, depending on their size.
Each bird has depends on the species of bird, but there's different size bands for different size birds, just like there are different size shoes for different size humans.
Then take down information for a national database.
And that information is available not only for the bird lab, but other researchers. So other people at other institutions might look at captures and capture rates over the years and things like that, and do research, generate publications and things from that.
Information like wing length,
69 wing.
and how much fat the bird is storing.
That's a 2.
Then it's time to release, and we continue on to the next bird. After we're finished with that round, we go to check the nets again. Sometimes it could take all day to get one bird.
Nothing.
And sometimes you get lucky.
2 birds in the hands is worth how many in the bush?
Really lucky.
Wow.
We primarily caught catbirds this time around. Some migrate through this area or choose to breed here before migrating again. Dr. Meg Hatch from Penn State Scranton is currently researching catbirds exclusively and checks over these birds for even more information.
Don't drop it.
This process repeats over and over again until the sun gets too high and the birds that spent all night migrating and then feeding are going off to rest.
Once we get all of the data collected from these birds, we let them go and maybe we'll catch them again. Chelsea Strub, Newswatch 16, Lackawanna County.
A girls hockey team started just last season in Luzerne County, the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Lady Knights. Newswatch 16's Chelsea Strub learned what it takes to become a Lady Knight, and she shares that with us in this week's Check It Out with Chelsea.
At first glance, a group of hockey players charging toward you might be a little scary.
Definitely. Hockey's an intimidating sport at first, but it's all you really do. The rink is excellent. The programs that they have, if you just come, they kind of start off with learn to skate. Everyone always says I can't play ice hockey because I don't know how to skate. It doesn't take long.
So before I could hit the ice with the Lady Knights club hockey team at Revolution Ice Center in Jenkins Township, I had to spend some alone time on the ice and learn to skate.
I don't know if I can do this without this thing.
And get acquainted with a hockey stick and puck. Then it was time for me to head to the locker room to get suited up for real this time. I have to make sure my skates are tight, my body is protected, and I'm repping the right team.
Wait, what's happening over here?
Plus, I have to protect my extremities and my head. And make my way to the Adult Learn to Play hockey program, where all levels of players can come and participate in drills and scrimmages.
Just like, you saw it today, like everyone's like slapping the stick for you, and everyone's super excited. So, you just keep coming back and you keep getting better.
I can confirm the support of the other players.
Oh, it's pretty slippery. How do you get back up? I'm gonna come over here. Wow, I did it. Oh. I might have a future in this. I'm just kidding.
Then it was time for me to meet the Lady Knights, a talented group of young women.
Woo! You got it. You got it.
Who are here for the love of hockey.
I think that it's a competitive team, and everybody on the team doesn't dislike hockey.
And each other.
My favorite thing about being on this team is that it's a lot of girls and they're very friendly, and it's pretty fun.
Do you think other girls should come out here and do this too?
Yeah.
So if you are interested in getting out on the ice with the Lady Knights here in Luzerne County, you can find information on the team on our website, WNEP.com. Chelsea Strube, Newswatch 16, Luzerne County. The inner workings of a beehive are extremely complex. So complex, Harold Kiner in Slocum Township has been at it for 11 years and says there's still more he has to learn.
You're still a beginner for the first 20 years, and that's just how you feel.
But regardless of the learning curve, Harold says it's worth it.
What I like about it is when you go into the hive, your focus is on the hive. Your focus is on the bees. You forget about all the other stuff in the world.
So we suited up and went to check out a few of the more than 50 hives Harold has at his home.
The box is a hive, the bees are the colony.
The top part of many of these hives is where the bees will store the majority of the nectar and pollen they collect and keep for nutrients.
She was pollinating a flower, she brought it back. She's looking for a cell to put it into.
Then down below is for more storage and where the queen will lay her eggs. Each bee in the hive has an important job that contributes to the queen's success.
So she just has like a really long, skinny tail?
Abdomen. Yes.
Females are the worker bees.
He looks busy in there.
Yep.
She.
They're all she's.
95% of them are she's.
Ooh, that one's a big one.
Yeah, that's a drone.
So that's a boy.
Yes.
And those that aren't building cells in the hive to store food or for the queen to lay eggs in are going out and getting food. Once the bees have found a food source, they shake for the attention of other ladies in the hive and then wiggle to let them know where it can be found.
The distance that she waggles tells the bees how far away they need to go for food.
She's shaking a lot, so
Yeah.
she's saying you need to go all the way to New Angola.
Pretty much, yes.
The male drones really only have one job.
Mate with virgin queens. And when they do, they die. Immediately die.
So he hasn't done it yet.
No, or he wouldn't be here.
The queen bee leaves the hive once to mate with several other drone bees from different colonies. Then, based on the structure of the hive, she knows whether to lay a female worker bee egg or a male drone egg.
And
Do
the
something
queen
here.
can control whether or not she's laying a drone or a...
Yes, she doesn't fertilize the drone egg. Because
Okay.
drones have no father, but they've got a grandfather. It's a crazy situation.
The queen will lay thousands of eggs each day and live about 1 to 2 years. The other bees live an average of about 6 weeks. Now, we've only skimmed the surface of the intricacies of a bee colony here. If you want to learn more, you should go check it out too. Chelsea Strube, Newswatch 16, Luzerne County. Those crossing the finish line are without a doubt the stars of any major race, but most of them will tell you the success that brings them here is all thanks to others who might not get as much airtime. Volunteers help at every stage of a race, including the day before when runners come to pick up their race bibs.
They're more important. They're there for nothing. They're there to get a t-shirt and maybe something to eat.
Patty Phillips has run 42 marathons and all 26 steam towns. She knows a thing or two about how important volunteers are.
The streets, the water stations, the start, the finish. If it weren't for the volunteers, this wouldn't happen.
Some here don't want to run, but want to be a part of the positive energy.
It's actually fun. It's not like you're wasting your time. It's fun. It's community. You're bringing in people from different states, countries.
Then comes race day, where even more volunteers are needed to give out medals, blankets, even massages.
You're really helping the runners, and you get to meet some awesome people, and it's not intimidating at all. Everyone's really friendly, really nice, and it's a great experience.
And of course, prepare food like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, pizza, and more, and get it ready for the runners.
I saw somebody had homemade chocolate chip cookies over there, so there's volunteers in so many different ways you can volunteer for this and make it a successful event. You don't have to run, that's for sure.
So my role as a volunteer at the Steamtown Marathon is in the food tent. Now volunteers spent a lot of time cooking all this food, putting it all together, laying it all out here, and it's kind of a hurry up and wait situation. But we are all really excited to see these runners come here and give them any kind of food that they want. Step right up, get your hot food. Yep. I met a lot of new friends inside the tent. What is your first name?
Mary Ellen.
Mary Ellen. Chelsea. And found some inspiration too. I'm looking at all these shoes. I don't know if my shoes have enough cushion. At times it gets emotional. I'm crying, you're crying, we're all crying. Mary Ellen is so disappointed, nobody wants the hot food. And daunting. A lot of people look like they're in a lot of pain. As I know, my marathon for Team Allied Services and you gets closer. Making me nervous. But the good vibes here and the support I know I'll have at the end from volunteers like these make me look forward to it even more. Chelsea Strube, Newswatch 16, Scranton.
The American Red Cross is always in need of blood donations, always trying to get people involved in the effort. If you're a little skittish around blood or needles, don't worry. Newswatch 16's Chelsea Strube is too. But she checked it out to see if that can be overcome.
When you walk through these doors as a blood donor, you're providing something that cannot be manufactured.
There's nothing to replace blood. The only way you can get it is by someone donating it.
Sherry Nealon is the executive director of the American Red Cross Greater Pennsylvania region. She says it's always in need of donations.
This time of year especially, because we have cold and flu season, people are out sick, people go away. People also are preparing for the holidays. They're busy.
Meaning regular donors are not always here during this time of year. So we signed up to walk anyone new to donating blood, like myself, through the process. It starts with signing up online and checking in at the donation location with your ID. Then you are taken to a room or private area for a health screening. Okay, so I wasn't allowed to take you guys in there with me, but what I did here was I got my finger pricked and they checked my red blood cell count and my iron count, and I'm good to donate. I also got my temperature taken, my blood pressure was good, and then I had to fill out a questionnaire. And I think I'm ready to go. I'm nervous, but I'm ready to go. At this time, you are escorted to your chair.
I'm gonna be just fine.
I'm so nervous. For donation prep.
But all these other people are doing it. Look around.
They're doing great. My phlebotomist's name is Ariel.
I'm such a wimp. You're not a wimp. You're doing a good thing. Right? I'm gonna save lives. I could do it. 3 people's lives today. 3? Yeah. 3 whole lives? 3 whole lives. Isn't that exciting? I told you 3. Yeah. 3 lives, guys. Come on. Get it together. Get it together.
Our blood goes to hospitals. It goes to anyone, if you're, say you're doing an elective surgery, say you're doing, emergency surgery. Anything or anywhere that the blood is needed, we send it.
All right, you ready to get this started?
Yeah, sure.
Can I have a squeezer?
Yes. Ariel has to find the right vein. We got good veins. Good veins, they said.
You do?
Relax, okay?
Oh, okay.
That's just me.
And then clean my arm. Then the needle goes in, and you squeeze this toy to get the blood flowing. It takes between 8 and 14 minutes to fill the donation bag. How many times a day do you do this?
All day.
All day?
All day, every day.
Then before you know it, you're done.
Wow, that came out of my body? That's gonna save 3 lives, 3 whole lives.
And it's time to get a lesson in the do's and don'ts for the rest of your day. and get bandaged up. Then when you're all done and you're feeling good, you come over here to the canteen. You have some snacks and some juice to replenish any lost blood sugar. But honestly, guys, I walked in here a scaredy cat, and I'm leaving here very confident, feeling great. Definitely want to do this again when I have the chance, and if you want to try giving blood, you can find information on WNEP.com. Chelsea Strube, Newswatch 16, Scranton.